And we are back. And now this is the second section to our pencil tool tutorial. If you were watching our last one, we discussed how the pencil tool worked in previous versions of Adobe Illustrator. But what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about how it works in the newest version, which is Adobe CC, the latest update. If you have the first iteration of Illustrator CC, then you will not have this option. You have to update it to the newest version. I believe the older version is 17 and this is 17.1. So once you update it, you'll notice the differences between the two. So take a look at the previous video and you'll notice when we go to our pen tool, which is the letter N on your keyboard, it is the 5th row down, second column, or the 10th icon down, a single column layout. And again, you can select it by the letter N on your keyboard. But if you remember in our previous video, when we double click to get our pencil options, we had a fidelity and a smoothness. Well, now when we double click on it, we have just a fidelity option, and it's really just a slider, and that slider has 4 points. So think of them in increments of maybe, let's say these are 1, 2, 3 sections. They're at 33%. So 0, 33, 66, 99. Okay, and at 0, you're going to be more accurate. At 99 or 100, it's going to be more smooth for your line. All of your other options are the same. You get to select whether you want to fill your new pencil strokes, whether you want to keep them selected, and if you want to edit those selected paths, how close to the path you have to be in order to edit it. Now, the reason this has changed is because a lot of people complain about the accuracy of the actual pencil tool. But right now, the pencil tool is super accurate. I am going to show you the differences now. I'm going to open right now, and I'm going to switch to Adobe Illustrator CS6. And then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to show you what a difference would be using CC. So let's do that right now. Okay, so we're in Adobe CS6 for Illustrator, and let's look at the pencil tool. Again, see the fidelity and smoothness options. Let's turn these all the way down for both of them. And we're going to draw a line. And we see where this line goes. Usually you have to just play around in order to get the settings exactly where you want them. But let's keep it at our most accurate settings to do exactly what it is we're doing. And then we're going to turn the smoothness all the way up. So let's say we're going to create an ellipse or a circle. Now essentially we want to make the same thing with the pencil tool. In CS6, with accuracy turned all the way up, let's say we make a circle. This is what we're getting. Now, if we were to turn this and change our fidelity and our smoothness to be all the way up and we try to make a circle, this is what we get. Alright, so it's extremely inaccurate. And even, let's say we turn our fidelity all the way down, keep our smoothness up, and try to make a circle, this is what we get. Very, very weird, right? So that was the downfall of the pencil tool in CS6. It's not very accurate at all. Now we're going to skip, let's go delete these, and we're going to go over to Adobe CC, or Illustrator CC, and this is 17.1, like I said. So you'll be able to see the differences between the two. Now that we're in the Illustrator CC 17.1, let's take a look at, let's once again, let's make a circle. Alright, and let's make sure, okay, got everything here. Let's now create a circle using an accurate depiction. Okay, now remember in our older version we did an accurate one and we did one that was more smooth. So here's an accurate circle. Alright, now we're going to create one that's smooth. And look at the vast difference in terms of how it calculated the smooth in the new pencil tool versus the old one. Even the accurate one that's measuring more of your hand motion is way closer to what you're trying to get. It's like it became more intelligent. They made it more intuitive so that it understands hand motions better. They actually paid attention to the pencil tool this time, and they gave it what the audiences have been asking for. It is ultimately an awesome tool now, and I would absolutely suggest getting accustomed to it and figuring out how this tool works. And again, you can always alter between how smooth and accurate you want this to be. So if you want it a little more smooth or a little less smooth than what we just had it, and a little more accurate, you can do so, and you'll notice it's not as round as this version, but it's also not as choppy, if we were to bring it up to this larger size, as this version. So it shows you that each one, and let's give you one right here. It's more accurate than smooth, so we can see each one in its own right as to how it would look. All right, so we have smoothest, next, then we have, let's move these up, and we're going from right to left here, so get used to it, people. Just want to give you an idea of what they look like when they're all side by side. So this is what we're getting. From most accurate to the smoothest, from left to right, that's what you're getting, or smoothest to most accurate from right to left. So now you understand the differences between the older pencil tool and the newer pencil tool. Just if you're looking to do something and you want a substitute for the pen tool, if you're not too familiar with Bezier curves and manipulating handles and anchor points, and you haven't been doing it that long with it, the pencil tool is your answer. This is what you want to go with. Absolutely want to do that. A lot of people are still utilizing the brush tools, which we will go into in a future tutorial, and you'll understand what the differences are with those. But if you are a person who was interested in the pen tool and you couldn't quite figure it out, but you like the work you saw with it, and you're a person who's good at drawing, then you might want to consider using the pencil tool, because the newer one is almost identical to the pen tool. And one other thing, and I almost forgot to point this out to you guys, that the new pencil tool does that the older one didn't, is when you're drawing a line, let's say you wanted to draw a curve, but then you wanted to draw a straight line. In the older pencil tool, your only option was to try and draw that straight line. In the new one, you can draw your line and then hit your Alt key or Option key on a Mac, and you can get a straight line. You can also hold down the Shift key to constrict it or set it up for certain sharp angles at certain degrees, 45-degree increments. And then voila, you have a straight line. Couldn't do that in another version at all. This thing is like a godsend. So be happy that they did this and that it's there. Even if you want to try it out, Adobe allows you to download and do a trial with a new update for 30 days. You can check that out, take a look at it, but definitely give it a spin. And then go back and check the other tutorials. Maybe you do like the older pen tool or a pencil tool, and maybe that's something you want to get involved in. And if you do, just familiarize yourself with the fidelity and the smoothness options. And if not, then you can come on over to the new pencil tool and start fiddling with that. Alright, so make sure you check out the other video and go over this one again, get familiar with it, and I will see you guys in the next set. Alright.